My name is DeShawn. I'm 14 years old, and this is my first year on the Titans.
My name is William Goldberg.
My name is Victor Castellanos. I'm 12 years old, and this is my first year on the Titans.
Hello, hi. My name is Marcos Reynoso. I'm a Titan dad.
My name is William Goldberg, William Isaiah Julian Michael Goldberg. I'm 19 years old, a coach for the Brooklyn Titans for the past year and a half approximately. Or I played football technically for 9 years. Prior to returning to the Titans, I actually spent 5 of those years playing youth football here, not necessarily at this field, but just in general with the organization throughout Brooklyn. Aside from that, I'm very active politically in terms of my community and federally, electoral and direct action. Played piano, I've been in about a dozen plays, and I'm currently attending the LIU Honors College. Just specifically about football, after playing in high school for 4 years, I ultimately determined it wasn't appropriate for me to pursue it further. I didn't have a particularly good experience in high school with my team coach. More of a personal thing, but I know certain others have felt the same way. And essentially it boils down to intimacy and how personally resonant coaches are with their players, you know. This is a successful organization. The Brooklyn Titans, we won the championship last year, and we do emphasize, the actual sport itself. But if you talk to Coach Bill, if you talk to any other coaches here, they'll all tell you about the same thing, where it's more about taking care of the kids and developing them as human beings and ensuring their success in life outside of football, and really establishing a sort of familial community, which has just been so beneficial to so many aspects of my life and so many of the kids here. It's really nice having a true family to call home. I'd say that's really the primary difference between and to be fair, you're never going to get the same level of intimacy at a high school as you are at youth. That's just inherently, that's the nature of it. But some programs more than others are far more robotic and don't really care much about the person as they do the player. And I think that's really, really what differentiates the Titans from any organization you'll see, whether it's football, whether it's music, whether it's arts, across the world. It's really more of a bonding, neighborly thing, rather than any sort of a superficial talent-based thing,
My name is DeShawn. I'm 14 years old, and this is my first year on the Titans.
My name is Victor Castellanos. I'm 12 years old, and this is my first year on the Titans.
I was playing basketball, but I wasn't really on the team. I was just playing just to play for fun. The high school coach from Erasmus, he contacted me and asked me to come to the practice. And I came, and now I'm on the Titans.
I got introduced to the Titans. It's because my old team, the Rifles, the season got canceled. And, I had nothing to do, laying in my bed all day, going outside. I was playing baseball at the time, and one of my buddies, the quarterback for my team, number 5, he told me to come to this practice one day, and I came. And I see how hard these kids hustle and practice every day. It's just I got introduced to football when I was 6. So, it's what I love, and it's what I like to do.
And at that point, I'd say junior, senior year of high school, and the amount of time that I had to dedicate to a program that I felt wasn't really returning it to me. So essentially, I just completely lacked any genuine joy in football my senior year. And I figured, this has been a very helpful tool for me as I developed in age, and I really, and I did enjoy it for a long period of time, but, you know, at this point, I think it's just not for me. I essentially had an epiphany in regard to my mental and emotional well-being. I realized I had repressed my emotions for many years, that I was simply going through the motions, and that I was living for my responsibilities and obligations rather than for myself or for any sense of fulfillment, And football, obviously, is something I've been doing longer than most other things in my life, was a core part of that. And it was one of the biggest indicators. My discontent with football was one of the largest indicators that I needed a systemic, fundamental change in my life overall.
5, 7, 1, 3, bump 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, take up 7, hop 1 on 3, 5, 7, 1, 3.
But Coach Bill, obviously the head coach, saw my mother at a Whole Foods and said, "We'd love to have Goldberg back as a coach. We could really use the help, and it'd be wonderful to see his return." And after a decent amount of nagging from Coach Bill, I decided last year, during a gap year before my freshman year of college, that I would come back and coach. And I realized after taking a break from high school football that it wasn't football itself that was inhibiting me. It was the particular institution that I was at and how they went about football.
Hello, hi. My name is Marcos Reynoso. I'm a Titan dad. My son's on the team. Well, a little about myself. I'm a police officer. That's what I do as a living. Prior to being one of the Titans, I had my son out. He played flag football, and I was looking for somewhere good, somewhere where he can develop himself and become the best that he can be. And I came across the Titans, and that's what brought me here now. And I'm here with the Titans, and it's the best choice I made.
Coming from another team and coming to another coach, they have different techniques, so it's kind of hard to work with them. Sometimes you could think they're wrong, but they're really right. So it's good for them to teach us something new in a different way.
Some of the techniques that I learned from here was a struggle at first because I was new and I didn't really know what to do.
What are your goals? Now you're doing football. Where do you want to go?
The goals.
My goals is for to go to the NFL or the major leagues. The reason why I'm playing two sports is because if I don't succeed in football, I could do something in baseball.
So you also play baseball?
Yeah.
How do you have a time to do both?
Practice makes perfect. It's hard. So yeah. It just keeps me busy, during the day, So yeah.
So there's never a day where you're like, oh my God, I have to go to practice.
Yeah, there's days, but I have to deal with it.
Okay. Now, my goals is not really. It's like some goals. Everybody had the same goals, but my goal is to make it to D1 college and go to the NFL to get my family out of a different surrounding from where I live at.
Honestly, at least in terms of the initial, interval of my football loss, I felt relieved. There was a genuine weight taken off my back that I wasn't at practice 6 times a week, working out 5 days a week, that I wasn't dedicating a substantial portion of my life and just obviously general existence to something that, as I already said before, wasn't really giving it back to me. I would say after, maybe 6 months to a year after that, I started realizing I was kind of missing the athletic area of my life. What that brought me back to was football in particular. I've played other sports before. I played tennis for 8 years. I played baseball for a couple years. Nevertheless, football maintained the most persistent and consistent presence in my life of all athletic approaches. It's really such a unique sport and such a surreal experience. Obviously, talking from personal experience, my perspective compared to most other athletics. And so I was certainly pleased after, like I said, 6 months to a year, to feel comfortable and to feel a legitimate desire to come back and make a presence in the community again, at least when it comes to football, Conversely, the last year and a half, it's been exemplary, and it's been epitomized by just like real good character and faithful love all around. That sounds really, maybe that sounds like kind of, I don't know, it sounds like some nebulous platitude or some shit, but no, it's really a different experience, honestly, and I'm happy to be here. And it definitely feels more like the beginning years than it felt the middle. So in that regard, even my negative experience ultimately benefited me and allowed me to transition into a more healthy way of living. And I'm really glad to be back.
My son, his name is Gabriel Reynoso. He's 14. He plays on the 14 youth. He plays wide receiver. He also corner. I help out as an assistant coach with the 14 youth and the other kids wherever I'm needed. Help them run the drills and get the kids prepared for games and whatnot. And it's a feeling unexplainable. It's a joy that incomparable working with these kids, and the love you get and the love you give with these kids here and in the sport. I myself, when I was younger, I used to play football too, to play flag football and stuff like that for my school. I love the sport. It's amazing.
Yo.
What can you tell us about Bill?
Bill, he's hard on you, but he's hard on you because he loves you and he wants you to apply yourself and put effort into everything you do. So that was a struggle, and then the struggle for me was like playing as a team, because I usually play for myself. That was a struggle.
Oh, okay, because you know how to do it yourself well, but the teamwork is a different story. So when did you start to realize, oh, I do have a determination? This is not just fun and hanging around.
Well, I started to realize that when I started to grow up, some of my friends where I live at got killed, and then growing up made me learn I gotta get my family out of here some way, one way or another.
As a white, heterosexual male growing up in one of the most gentrified, affluent areas in the United States, and in Brooklyn in particular, I never really had a working class connection. To be fair, I did. My dad a truck driver, my mom a babysitter. I did have a personal working class connection, but it was never in my community. I was always around six figures and software engineers and artists and all that. And then at 7, 8 years old, when I first decided that I wanted to make an attempt at football, the only prominent organization that was most appropriate for my circumstances was the Titans. And at that time, they played in Red Hook. I lived in Park Slope. And it was a culture shock, I was, for the first time in my life, I was the only white kid anywhere, And I was where I went from being, in Park Slope, I was one of the poorest kids and in one of the poorest families there. I went to being, upper middle, you could say, or whatever, with the Titans, or, it certainly helped change my worldview and show me that there really is genuine struggle still going on in the world outside of my bubble, you know. And not only that, it showed me that, you know, the best people in my life could be from those communities, you know. Some of the most intelligent, compassionate, and just generally superb human beings I've ever interacted with have been from the Titans and from similar organizations, and you know, and from communities that you know, are sometimes struggling to make ends meet, you know. And so the Titans, so that plus the Titans culture inherently of being very personal and developing the human rather than the player, at least for the most part, you know, ultimately combined and really gave me a genuine desire to create a significant positive impact in the world wherever I could. And the Titans really cultivated that in me, and I genuinely don't believe it would have happened without this organization, without the people managing it. And plus, they gave me a real good outlet to let out any anger I had in football. It was pretty great.
I like it. Sir, I gotta work with you.
You know, I wanted to do something to get me out of trouble, you know, or not do nothing bad, you know, keep me busy, stuff like that.
Before I used to play for the Titans, I used to play for the team called the Brooklyn Steelers. And then I was introduced to that team just to calm my anger and be humble around certain things, certain situations. So I was bad, but then I had to realize school isn't a joke. So like when you're doing bad in school, maybe the next game they won't let you play. Or the next practice you'll have to sit out. Or the game you'll have to sit out. Anything that involved into activities you will have to sit out and you won't be able to play.
Arch. Reset. Everybody go march.
Oh wait, they started my selfie, yo.
We were one of the worst teams in the league at the time. This is potentially taboo, but you know, 4 out of 5 years on the Titans, we probably went like 1-9, 2-8. You know, whatever our record was, it was abhorrent. You know, loathsome, just the worst. But that first game, and I had already known that, but I didn't really particularly care. That first game, immediately they had running back. Dive through the interior, and he blew past the line of scrimmage and basically was going to score on the first play. And I sprinted full speed down the field as a D lineman, as a chubby kid, and 90 yards downfield, I made the tackle right before he made the end zone, and I think that made me realize that. The sport lit up, a passion, a determination, and a persistence in me that no other activity had ever elicited from me, you know. And from that point on, I decided, you know, if I'm going to be here, regardless of how good the team is or whether I need to be this good, I want to be this good, and I want to play to my fullest extent. I want to know what I'm doing. I want to utilize each technique to their fullest potential, you know, and that made me, you know, one of the best players on the team, one of the best linemen in youth across the city, and it really made me look forward to pursuing football in high school. I was just gonna say, it also it put me in a really interesting position that I never experienced elsewhere. Like I said, football evoked something in me that nothing else ever had, and it put me around people and in a community that I'd really never experienced either. So all in all, it was a really, really, you know, it was a plentiful, you know, area of my life that really let me flourish.
What are you good at in football?
Speed, strength, basically running the ball.
My strength. I don't really know how to use it yet, because sometimes I'm scared. And, you can't really be nervous to, I really haven't made that, big hit where everyone goes crazy, So, I have to make up that for myself and, keep practicing every day.
I fractured my elbow halfway through a game with the Harlem Jets. And I do recall that game because the coaches were constantly telling their kids to get after me, the opposing coaches. And I'd say 3 or 4 kids on that team would constantly, after every play in between the whistles, would try to pull on my face mask or punch me or, it's a physical sport. Try to hit me with their helmets, anything, And they got a penalty once for it. Then on another play, they blocked me in the back. And so I didn't really feel I didn't really feel like taking it, so I pulled one of the kids to the ground and started throwing him, and then they penalized me. Whole debacle. Next play, I was running downfield, upfield to make a block. Some DT who had made penetration on the other side turned around to go after me long after the play was dead, and he just rammed full speed his helmet into my elbow. I tried playing in the game for like another 4 or 5 plays, and then the coaches saw, hey, Goldberg's got some white stuff protruding out of his elbow. Maybe we should possibly pull him off the field. And obviously that ended my season. I was playing very well the initial half, and then I still showed up at every practice. I was the captain. I actually got MVP that year, much to the chagrin of certain other players.
Yo, bring it in! Yo, bring it in! Yo, come on! You're not getting none of those cupcakes. Yo, say that shit. Bring it in.
I would say it genuinely all boils down to, your interior, what's happening inside. And as long as you can settle your internal emotional state and well-being, I think you'll see positive outcomes on the field and in life. And that's, like you said, that's something that Coach Bill tends to emphasize and fixate on, is that if you can develop a certain confidence and self-esteem, a love for those around you and a sense of responsibility, you'll naturally see yourself perform better on the field, and then you'll be more adept at handling the technique. You'll feel more secure in learning your plays. You'll feel more comfortable in taking on a certain block within a certain formation. Everything is, it's inherently interconnected and inextricably linked. So if you develop your personality and you develop all aspects related to it, you'll find yourself a more adept player on the field. And I think there are a lot of great examples of that. Ray Lewis is well known for being, aside from being obviously one of the most marvelous football players in all of history, he's even better known for being a great leader and a great mentor and a great teammate. And I think if you can develop your personal side, I think you will genuinely see a lot of, you'll see yourself flourishing on the field, certainly. And don't hesitate to get intimate and to talk to your coaches about the help you need, or to talk to your family or friends or whatever. Football struggles are ephemeral, whatever technique you're having difficulty learning, as long as you keep at it, you'll eventually get it. It's a matter of determination more than anything else. if you have talent, you can be a good player, but to make a great player, you have to be persistent, you have to be dogged in your desire for success and achievement. And so if you're ready and willing to look through some of your personal stuff and to be present at practice and to, as I clarified, to maintain a personal drive, all of your football struggles will wither away and you'll see success in whatever amount of time it takes.
Yo, break it down and let's go. Yeah. All right, look. Look.
5, 6, 7, Brooklyn, Titans. We hope that you're prepared. We're perfect with no flaws. 5, 6, 7, Brooklyn, Titans. We hope that you're prepared. We're perfect with no flaws.
You gotta pay attention to most details. Yo! This is where we win games, right here.
It's very important to practice. Practice hard. Practice like you play. You need what you do in practice is going to reflect what you do out on the field. So always give 100%, not just when you're in a game. Give 100% in practice, because if you do it in practice, you're going to do it on the field. And that's the best advice, you know, I've been able to give them, you know.
Even in practice.
Even in practice, 100%. Never, you know, never halfway. If you do something halfway in practice and you do it so many times, it'll become like muscle memory. And when you're in a game, you know, without thinking, you'll probably do that. You'll react in that way. But if you always doing 100%, 100% is always going to come out without you even thinking about it, without even an effort in another way. You'll just do it.
Do you want to share anything else with us?
Just never give up. Keep on going.
You?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yo, does anybody have a black Hyundai park, double park? Black Hyundai, double park.
Great being out here. I wouldn't change it for the world. Titans all the way. One team, one vision, one goal.
Everybody, hands up, y'all. Yo, hold on, 1, 2, 3. Forward.
Just be willing to communicate, be willing to listen, be willing to share your feelings and your thoughts, your concerns, your difficulties. As long as you're open and willing to express yourself in a polite and meaningful manner, there will be people who are willing to help you. You'll find yourself more willing to help yourself, and you will be able to take your next step on the football field. Just be thoughtful, just be polite, just be personable, just be open to whatever extent you can. And any of your issues, you'll receive assistance. And if you recognize in yourself that as long as you maintain some semblance of determination, you'll succeed, then you will succeed. If you have the drive and you are genuine, and you genuinely love what you're doing, and you really enjoy playing this sport, you will find a way. And any assistance you need, you should be able to find. There we go. All right.